Welcome back, everyone, to constructing the Braille class bird of prey in Blender. Picking up right where we left off, I have already kind of started working on some more of the rooms with a couple of other additional features we'll take a look at in a minute. The last thing I was working on before I had decided to record was trying to come up with a door idea for these rooms here, which came up with something which I'm kind of on the fence of. It's not going to be the only suggestion, but or not the only solution, but it is a solution. I really don't like, especially with the sound effects that it makes. Don't know if you can quite hear that, but and also I don't like how it doesn't open up. I think there's a way that I can make it open up, but it just kind of using two doors. I'm trying to make it rounded. Use two steel doors along the edges, so those don't open up. They won't open up unless they get electronic signal via redstone, but this right here can open up. So I started doing that, but these right here is this room, and this room over here are the captain's and first commander's quarters. We got the little bed right here. Just a little tour. It's a small little area. We got a little bed here. I need to build I'm kind of thinking of something like that for the desk. Maybe something like that for the desk. Probably put something there like a computer monitor. Let's see. Can I use a picture frame there? Let's find out. Oh, okay, yeah, I could use a picture frame there, picture frame there. So yeah, that might work out. So those could be, double for computer monitors. Got a little picture right there with a sword. I might probably try decorating it up a little bit, but they're Klingons. They really don't need that much, and even to me, I think this might be a little bit too much on a small ship like that for just the captain. But we got the captain's room over here. We got the commander's room, his quarters. Whoops, kind of do that. There we go. Let's do the same thing there. One, two, three. I'll toy around with that, but I'm kind of going with this suggestion, or not suggestion, but this idea here for the doors to go into the rooms. These probably won't be open automatically. I might be able to do that automatically. Let me try a pressure plate here. Let me see. Weighted. Yeah, let's try a weighted. Let's see. There. Put that. Let's see. I don't think I need the glass right now. Can I put a pressure plate down? Well, that. Okay, that does open that. Okay, well, that might work on that. I just don't like quite the way that the plate looks, especially when it's there, but yeah, it's something. And I'll toy around with it a little bit more. But regarding doors, let's take a look at this. I've made a little addition to the front of the ship. We're going to go this way. If you notice, well, there's the bridge, but it looks like there's a solid door there. But if I start to approach it, the door goes away, and I walk in, turn around, and the door is there again. So I do have automated doors. Ah, well, kind of automated doors. Let's, you walk up to it, and I know there's like all that stuff. I need to get rid of that. I know there's a command to do that, but I can't remember right offhand. But, you walk in, as you can see, if I get to a certain point, it says, well, it found my name. I get a little bit closer, the door disappears. I go through, and once I back up, the door reappears again. So they are automatic doors to a certain degree, but they times just right. So as I get in close, they disappear, allow me to walk through, and when I get a certain distance away, they reappear. And let's go ahead and take a look, and I'll show you how I did that. Let's see, so we're going to go ahead and export out, and let's go over here where I got a little test bed. This is done by using command blocks. We've got three sets of command blocks on this side, which power this comparator, which powers this, this repeater here, which therefore powers these I may be able to probably do it without that. No, I don't. I think I still need that. But it powers these. And right over here we got another set of door, and it does the exact same thing. I get to a certain distance, door disappears. I get a certain distance away, the door reappears. And all what that does is we'll take a look at the code here is that these here, they're set up to where they're always active and they repeat. So they're constantly repeating every single tick or Minecraft second to check what it's doing is it's testing for if any player is within these coordinates within a 2 block radius. Now 2 blocks is forward, backward, side to side and up and down. So if there's any player within that 2 block radius, what it's going to do is, whoops, no, that's not what I wanted. It's going to send a small enough signal out through here to light up this comparator, which powers that repeater, which now goes to this, and it's going to say, it's going to now give a fill command. And it's going to fill in these two coordinates, 24, 56, 33, and one right above it. So you got one down here and one down there. So it's going to fill those two with air. And that removes the doors once you get to within a certain range. And these two here, they test for the same thing. But this one here, what it does is it fills with the gold block. And you can see right there where it says, previous output filled, 2 blocks filled. So it sees if once I get any player gets close to that coordinate within 1 block radius of it, 1 block before, after, or even right on top of it, then it's going to light up that comparator, which lights up that repeater, which turns on that block, and which causes it to close the door. And so I got them stacked up just like this. Apparently, you need to put a space. You can't just simply go into, I just can't simply just put them down like that and like that. It wasn't working right. For some reason, those two signals were getting crisscrossed. And I know there's a reasoning for it, but I can't figure it out. So I had to put a space on it, but actually that kind of works out, and we'll go inside and take a close look at that on how we got that set up inside there. But just how you set that up, it's very simple. You just put one down. Now there's this little arrow here. Within a recent update, they made it to where they are directional. So you have to make sure that those arrows there are pointing in the direction. So I want the input to go this way. And this block, unless it's continuing a signal out, it doesn't matter which way it points. So I just lay it down and it can go like that. And then you need a, what's called a comparator and what's a repeater. So you lay down a comparator because this thing, it sends out a signal, but the signal apparently is not powerful enough. So you need to have that comparator, which takes that small little signal and it puts it in through that, and that amplifies that signal, not enough to power redstone, but just enough to power that, which now goes into that block, which activates that. You just input in the commands, and you can actually do a lot of interesting things with command blocks by adding more stuff to it, to the commands, or adding more blocks or what have you. But let's go back inside and take a closer look on how I had that set up inside the ship. Okay. So I mentioned it in previous episodes is that is going to be all set up as a part of the ship. So if you decide to put this into multiplayer, all this stuff is going to be back here in what we're going to call in the engine room. So I kind of started working on that. It's 3 levels. There's a 3-level engine room where you got a level up here, you got a level there, and then there's a level down there, which all those levels are accessible via ladders. Once again, I don't see the Klingons having turbo lifts. I mean, they're hardy people. But right here we got this little setup here. So this setup is a part of the engine room. This is where all the command blocks are going to be stored to power the doors and everything else. Now, it looks like it's going to kind of take up quite a bit of space. We'll just have to see about exactly how much space, and it's going to look a lot smaller because we need to put in some walls here because I don't want to show this green on the interior. So I'll be putting up walls so there's a little space there, but that's going to be covered up with walls. But we got all this space here, all that space up there that we could try to use, and this entire area is going to be just completely covered with command blocks that's used to power the ship, power the doors, power the 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 phaser beams, the photon torpedoes, and all that other kind of good stuff. And the only thing I'm going to quote unquote model, which won't really have any kind of purpose, it may have a purpose. I haven't decided yet, but it's going to be the Klingon crystal chamber. If you see in Star Trek 4, they're working on the Klingon, chamber, which I'm thinking about probably putting the crystals up here. Or actually, no, it makes sense to probably put down there because I'm pretty sure their warp engines work just like the warp engines of the Federation. You got matter and antimatter, which are coming together, and the Klingon crystals is like the dilithium crystals. It channels that reaction into a beam. So you'll got antimatter comes down there, matter comes up here, channels it out, goes out. I may probably put that and make somehow find a way to try to make that as like a kill switch, for power everything. With that being said, I might end up actually trying to have it to where instead of these being always active blocks, they might be just regular command blocks that you have to have a, whoops, no, not that. Nope, not that. There we go. Where you have to have where you can put a switch on it. So you can actually, inside the engine room, cut off power. So if we want to cut off power to where nobody can get out of the, can get into the, the front, the bridge area, you could shut off power to those three there, or actually just to that one, or the one that where it fills it with air to open it up. You can put that in there to where, turn it off, nobody can get in. So something I'll be thinking about doing, but all this is going to be filled, and I have it also kind of like this because I'm going to try to hide as much of this as possible, especially when it comes to this. So, we're probably going to end up doing some stuff like that, like that, trying to make it look a little bit more like an engine, or make it more mechanical. That's some things I'm going to be kind of toying around with, but that's going to be how we're going. Darn it, I didn't mean to do, or did I mean to do that? Yeah, okay. Nope. No. There. Wait, is that how I did it? No, I didn't do it like that. I did it like that. There we go. All right, but we'll toy around with that a little bit more. So that's how we're going to do the doors. I don't know exactly how many doors I'm going to do. And as mentioned, for these doors here, I'm not going to do that. But it looks like I'll be able to get away with just these. I could use redstone and use pistons to kind of pull open the door. Like here we got another set of doors. I can use, maybe redstone pistons to probably do that, but that takes a lot of space, and because we don't have a whole lot of space, below this and above this, because there's floors up there. I don't know if I'd be able to run the signal properly, because I mean, like right there is, let me, you know, right underneath me, that was the, you know, this floor is a ceiling to the next level, so that's just not going to work. I can't put in a redstone. So that's a pretty good way of doing that. So I'm going to, we got the door there, we got the door here, so that pretty much separates that portion of the ship, and I kind of see that they probably always separating. So if there's a hull breach back here, well, people in the front of the ship can still survive for a certain point of time, and or vice versa. If the front portion gets a hull breach, they can close it off there, and you can still pilot the ship to a certain degree inside the the engine room. So there's going to be a door there, there's going to be a door there, and I don't know, I might put a door there as well, which means I'm going to have to widen this up a little bit, but I will see around with that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out for a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and put in that other door over there. Hey everyone, and I have went ahead and completed the additions. We have the door here, and we also have the door here. And as you can see, so once again, it opens up when you go in through it, and it closes up on the other side. I might look at trying to get some different blocks, or maybe even using some different blocks here. Let's just go ahead and try swapping out those different blocks real quick. Whoops, try that. See how that looks. Nope. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that might look a little bit better. So we go through here. And I'll definitely will try different blocks out to see, which ones work better. But yeah, that seems to work. And as you can see, also, I have disabled that log coming in from the command blocks. And all I did was just did game rule, command block outputs. Whoops, and you do either true or false. So if I do true, then it's going to log in those commands, which is good for troubleshooting purposes, but I don't want that. So we're going to go ahead and go to false, so it stops logging those in. So they do everything that they're supposed to do, but they log it. So yeah, and we go back here, finished up the hallway a little bit, got that extra lighting in there, toying around with some different door designs. I got this design here, which looks a little bit better on this side. I might try to get a different door completely than this one right here. The only problem is that it doesn't look too good on this side, but nothing looks good on that side. So I'll toy around with that, and I'll see once I've got some of the other command blocks set up back here. I'll probably take a quick look to see maybe I might be able to do some way to maybe get something to show up. But all I did was, excuse me, added in an extra layer of command blocks on this side. There was a small little problem, which when I first put this command block in and programmed in, because this was turned on, that command block was buggy and it wasn't working, so I had to remove all these and put in that command block there. But I'm going to try looking and toying around with some different configurations and read a little bit more in the wiki on these command blocks and see if there's any way I can condense this. There may not be a way, and I may end up trying to find a way to make this room bigger just to try to get all the command blocks in that I need for all the functionality for this. And I got some room. I mean, these last two rooms, I mean, we got captain, we got commander, and this right here, I mean, I could change these around, move that up back a little bit. This could be the the oh excuse me, sorry. This could be the room for all the rest of the crew. You know, well, anyways, I could definitely shorten up those two rooms and make the engine room a lot bigger. And I might end up going ahead and do that, moving this all back and making it bigger. So we'll see. But I'll also toy around to see if there's ways to make the command blocks. I mean, fortunately, I don't think there's any way to do any kind of Boolean operations using the command blocks. I mean, I could be wrong, and I'll read up about it because it'd be nice if I could just have test for this or test for that. If either one of those is if it meets either one of those, it goes ahead and it turns on that next block right there. I do know that there's a way that I could take this and do a OR switch or an AND switch into one block, so I can reduce these blocks, but that's going to add at least one extra line going that way. Well, maybe. I'll take a look at something a little bit later. I could probably get it all in the same. All I would do is just basically be removing one command block. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go ahead and call the episode quit right there. I mean, not much is going to be happening. I mean, for now, the outside of the ship is for the most part done. I mean, it's just all nothing but just interiors. I haven't had a whole lot of work done on this as much as I would like to in these past couple of weeks because I've been working on another project which I'm not doing any videos on, but I've been putting onto that, and I've had a couple of other things come up. But I'm gonna try to. I'm almost done with the project that I'm doing now. When I get done with that, I'll have a lot more free time, and I'll try to come in and you know get a lot more of this interior done. So we just come in, just kind of do like so. I just come in on the next episodes and just do a little bit of a walkthrough, maybe do a little bit of building, do some chatting and talking. So I need to figure out what to do with these areas. I think I'm going to close that off. That looks a little bit too open up. I definitely need to get to work on this area here in the storage area. So there's still a lot of stuff to get done, but I mean, for the most part, the exterior is done, and not much to do with that. But anyways, enough chatting. So I'm going to go ahead and close off. I just want to say that thank you for watching. This is B Belt Dan. This is in Braille class Bird of Prey in Minecraft. Leave any comments or suggestions that y'all might probably have. And love to hear back from y'all. And I will see you in the next episode.